mind for. Spend a day to get my mind blown. Dress it up and go to Nassau. 200 miles on the dash. Gotta roll a pound up a gas. Switching lanes in the Grand Rapids. We the one that kept it cool.
What's happening? It's your man, the scholar, DJ Akademiks, Impact TV, DC Lottery Live Studios, and I am here with none other than the gorgeous, the beautiful, man, one of my teenage crushes, I ain't even gonna lie. Ameriie, how are you doing?
I feel like I need to have some effects with that, like.
Yeah, that was like the best Steve Harvey I could put together at the moment. So I mean, drive, out. How's it feel?
It feels really good. I wanted to put something out. It's been a while since I had, I guess it's an understatement. It's been a while since I had
it's been a little bit.
But I just really wanted to put it out there for a lot of people supporting me and just, you know. An EP was great too because it wasn't like super long. It was just a short and sweet, sonically sound project. So.
And I do want to talk about that because I listened to the project and I love it. It seemed like it was very therapeutic to you. Is that true?
Did you tell me you hated it though?
No, I mean
it's like you'd be like, listen to the project, kind of hated it.
I wouldn't tell you I hated it, but I would tell you I would give you an honest opinion.
Okay, that's good.
But I do like the project, and that's what I was saying. It seems very therapeutic, like it was a release. And I will ask you this: being that you did take that break, I had an interview a while back with Stally, and he said that he had to get away from music for a while because it got too much like work and he couldn't be creative. Is that a place where you feel?
No. Really what happened was really I've always been creating, but I have to go with how I'm feeling at the time, you know. So I had a lot of creative energy and I had a lot of different things I was working on, still am working on, like for instance Cymatica, which is a project I've been working on for literally years, and I'm still piecing that together. Then in the meantime I was also writing fiction, so I have like an anthology coming out with a lot of New York Times bestsellers, and it's going to be coming out next July.
Yeah, you're published and everything.
Well, not published yet technically, but yes, a major publisher is publishing that in July. And then I've also been writing other things, other fiction that's like in different processes of revision. And that takes a lot of time. Like, I can go into the studio and I can, like 2 12-hour sessions, I can come out with a song, you know, with a good rough mix on it. You do that with a story, you might come out with a scene. You know what I mean? So it takes a lot of time. And I was creating music and also like balancing out with writing. But it also made things take a little longer.
So is it true that you actually spend on an average day 12 to 13 hours writing?
Like 4 to 13. Like, was it yesterday? See, I think everything's all blurring together because I haven't had a lot of sleep. But I think yesterday, I wrote from 11:30 in the morning to 1:30 at night. Sheesh. Like, I literally was at the computer writing the whole time because I'm on a time-sensitive thing. So it's very time-sensitive. And so, yeah. It takes time, but I love it though. Like, I love creating like songs, music, stories. I try to incorporate those things in my videos. It's like one of my videos, like I told the director, this is a post-apocalyptic world. We're on another planet right now. Something happened to Earth. We're there. And he's like, yes, love it. And then you see the video, it's like 2 moons, there's a hint. And then we're gonna dance. It's like, which was awesome, but a lot of the stories I wanted to get across, I couldn't always get across in a music video. You know, so.
And you know, it's crazy. I'm kind of jumping ahead, but I did want to ask you this: being that you're such a writer and you're such a visualist, being that, you know, Beyonce just did the whole Lemonade thing, do you see yourself doing anything like that with your trilogies and your music, adding visuals or even making a movie out of it, like a musical movie?
Yeah, I definitely want to do that. I actually met a few years ago. I actually met a couple of directors because I wanted to do something very specific with Cymatica, actually. So it depends on the project. Like for Drive, there wasn't, you know, I don't like to just force something on something else. So it's just like it has to be the right mood, the right moment, and my vision. So we actually met and talked about it, but I haven't finished recording Cymatica yet because it's a trilogy. But I do want to do something, and I have it all in my mind.
Well, let it out. We need to know. We want to know.
But it has to be right because I'm also one of those artists where it's like, if it's not the vision, I'd rather just not even do it. I'd rather the vision stay in my mind and nobody see it but me than for me to see it wrong because then I can't even look at it.
In other words, you're very stubborn.
I am. Yeah, I'm a perfectionist. But sometimes you have to be careful. You have to balance it because you don't want it to paralyze you either. You know.
So the next installment in the trilogy comes out in July, right?
Well, okay, Cymatica is a trilogy, but Drive is kind of like it's a moment. And so the next, I don't want to be pretentious, but like the next sonic moment, but the next moment is going to be July. That's what I'm aiming for.
Okay.
But it's a completely different sound. That's why it's an EP and not a full length album, because then it would.
There's only 6 records on it.
Well, on Drive?
Yes.
Yes, 6. That's I was about to say. Are there? I was about to ask you, because when I create music, I like put it out and I don't listen to it again. Like I don't listen to my old stuff. If you came to my house,
you don't listen
you
to
never
any
know.
of your music. As OCD and as perfectionist, you don't go back and listen to any of your records and like, I should have changed that. I knew I should have did this. You don't overthink yourself
I
at all.
only do that when it's in the recording process. Then I'm like, that's all I'm listening to. And then when I'm mixing, but I'm a very tense. I'm not a lot of fun to be around during that period, because I'm one of those people who are very like, oh, the mixes are coming in today. Let me calm down, and I get upset before I hear anything because I know I'm gonna hear something's gonna be too loud. Something's gonna be, and it's like I'm just so neurotic. But once I'm done, I'll have to ask you what song was on what album, because it's like once it's out of me, it's done. You know.
And you're just over it.
And it's finished. Yeah.
And that was your problem with more of the big labels, because you said they moved too slow, because you wanted to hurry up and put it out as soon as you recorded it and get on to the next thing, and they were just moving too slow.
Yeah, they do move slow. Now it's not bad. I understand it, because when you have a big company, they have the checks and balances. They have to make sure if they're going to spend the money, and I get that. But it's like I'm so like, okay, it's done. Like if you came to my house, you probably no one would know that anyone who does music lives there, because I don't really have pictures of myself anywhere. I don't have my albums anywhere, and so I'm just like,
really?
It's to me, it's like I have to create it, because I'll go crazy if I don't create. And then once it's out, I can breathe, and that's it. That's what it is for me.
I would have never thought that.
Yeah, that's it. I was like, but I was like, I probably should have
at least something up
put
there,
some plaques up or something.
a plaque. I mean,
I never asked for them, and I never. Yeah, I guess I could get it now.
Post a publishing check or something. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I don't have any of that.
So have they been treating you good?
Who?
The publishing over the last few years.
Oh, he's pretty good. I mean, I released like "Gotta Work" is a song that was off of my international album, and that was something that was never released in the States. But actually, now I saw the single. You can buy it on iTunes now. But it's been used for a lot of different things, like television shows. A lot of movies use it. A lot of network TVs. I'm like, oh, they didn't mind that, like, such and such network just use it, but I guess not. Okay, sure.
Yeah, sure.
I don't mind.
You've been away from the scene, but you ain't been missing the check. You still eating good. And besides that, you're back in the studio with Rich. How's that been?
We're not technically back in the studio.
Oh,
but I'm sorry.
But
we have been in the studio. We've always talked about working together too, but it depends, because he actually stepped away from music for a while. And but we got together again and did something out loud, and we'll see how it goes too for
Is it true that
we're always going to work together, though?
Oh, okay.
We'll always work together.
No, it's like a brother and sister relationship.
Yeah, we just have great chemistry. Like, we make really good music together. We understand. We speak the same language. And there are not a lot of people that I have that relationship with, musically. So even when we got into record out loud, it was crazy, because it was like no time had passed. You know, when you see someone and you haven't seen them in a long time,
but you just pick right up.
Pick right up. It was exactly like that.
Is it true that you guys met in a McDonald's parking lot and you started singing for him right there?
Well, not exactly. Okay. What had happened was...
what had happened was...
A friend of mine, Rhonda Berry, I'm not sure if you're familiar with him, but he was working with a lot of clubs and stuff back in the day, and he knew Rich, and he also knew me. He actually only knew that I sang. That was really it. And he knew that Rich was like looking for somebody. And so... he just told me, hey, my boy is a producer. And I was like, okay, everybody's boy is a producer. All right. And he's
Thought it was a corny come on.
Well, not from him, but it's just like, he's looking for someone. I was like, okay, we'll see how legit this is. And then I spoke to him on the phone, and I was kind of surprised. I was like, okay. So we talked, and I was like, he seems like he's for real. But I still didn't know him, so I was like, I'm not going to go to your house. So I was like, let's meet somewhere public.
Spider senses was tingling.
Where I can spider senses. And he was all right. So I was like, I need to meet you somewhere where I can run out of the car if there's a problem. So I was like, let's meet at the McDonald's parking lot, and then I can have some fries and and run if need be. So we just sat in the car. He played me some of his instrumentals, and then I sang him some of the stuff that I'd written, and I was like, that track, I need that. Oh, that. Because at the time, it was so hard to find like someone who could create like really musical instrumentation, but have like that hip hop feel to it. Because I was like, I need my R&B with some hip hop in it.
You want the band sound and the production all intertwined
I need percussion. I need drums. I need aggressive music, and it was like the perfect it was so perfect. So we tried to do a few songs, and we recorded a lot of those songs like in the basement. You know, a lot of the songs on All I Have were recorded with me sitting on the back of a sofa, like kind of like perched against it. And there's like washing machine, dryer there. They were off a couple times, so laundry had to be done, I guess. So he was like, "Oh, hold on, let me turn it off." And it's like, you know, it's like, all right, so it worked. And he was like sitting right there. There's no booth. You know, and some people think that you need all those things, but if you're just creating, as long, especially now, you don't need all of that.
Yeah, there's a lot of pictures like back in the day. You see like Kanye and a little bit of instruments he had.
Yeah.
And you can go even further back with like the producers like Biz Markie, like when they first got the samplers.
I was saying,
like,
you kind of went really far.
Yeah, I know. I just went from like 90s all the way back to the 80s. I just skipped the whole decade. But yeah, being that you have been in the industry for a while, and I mean, you took that break. How do you feel about the changes within the industry now? Like, I mean, you were in when you had to put in footwork, and now well, for a while, I would say it went to just everybody just sitting behind on Twitter and just social media promoting instead of actually getting in the streets. But you come from the breed where you actually beat the payment.
Well, I was in the streets.
Yeah, you was in the streets.
Well, you know, okay, seriously though, I think you still have to put in the work because like the internet has democratized everything, whether it's music or just people's voices, if they have something to say about politics, or they want to make funny skits on YouTube, whatever it is. And that's great because everyone can have a voice. But the only thing is, it's like an ocean now. So to stand out is very difficult. So you still have to put in the work. The difference is, I think, the label, and this started to happen when I came into the business. When I came in, I would hear everyone say, before the label would do artist development, now they don't do it. So I wasn't really there for when they were doing all of that. Now they do virtually none.
They want the finished product.
They just want, because it's like you can be hot, make yourself hot. If you're hot in your town, if you're hot on the internet, whatever it is, make yourself hot, and then we'll be interested. And then you have to decide whether it's worth it to do a major deal or not, or to do independent, or just get into distribution. So you actually have to do a lot of the work now. Like people, a lot of times, are hard on artists today, right? Even the last 15, 20 years. And they'll be like, oh, back in the day. It was like, well, back in the day, you know, artists will come up and they'd be like, here, sign your life away. And we'll write you some songs and you sing it like I said. And then that's it. But now people have to do social media, which is great, but it's all a distraction, really. They have to create. They have to make themselves hot.
You have to build your own image.
They have to find their own producer, because like who are you? Who's gonna do a song with you for free unless you just meet, and it's just magic.
And then break bread together.
Yeah.
So would you see yourself going back to the powers that be, or are you just enjoying this new freedom where I just put it out and get it on with and go to the next?
Well, I always had creative freedom. I always had creative freedom because I came in with my own music already. You know, Rich and I created music, and then we went in. It wasn't like we were waiting on somebody to tell us what we needed to do or tell me what I needed to sound like. So I never felt like, I always looked at myself as my own entity, you know, my own boss. No one's the boss of me. Yeah. But, you know.
That's that military coming up.
Yeah, it is. Because you got to.
Sergeant.
People get it confused sometimes. Because I think sometimes people are like, oh, well, it's such and such. Like they might name a label head. And they'll be like, oh, because such and such artist's boss said this. And I'm like, there's no boss. You're on your own. No, seriously. People think that label heads are your boss. And it's not. They are the boss of the executives that work at that label. You, as an artist, you have a lot of power. You're like a walking small business. You are yourself, and you make a negotiation with somebody and you do what you do, but it's not like someone's making you do anything.
Yeah, it's your brand.
Yeah, you might think someone's going to make you do something, but at the end of the day, it's on you.
So what would be the perfect situation for somebody to lure Ameriie back in?
I think it just, to me, I would mostly look for people who are really going to commit, I think, and who are really understand me as an artist and really commit to it. Really, I think it, yeah, as long as I go by vibes, so you know, I'm not I go by vibes and energy, but I also have people around me who go more like on really logical point of view. So I'd be good. It just, as long as it feels right and as long as they're really invested, then I would feel fine, whether it's distribution or major. It just depends.
Yeah, because we need you back. We definitely want to see you back. And I'm very anxious to see a visual project with you written, produced, and your music as a musical, because I want to see, because you root for the bad guys. So that would be very interesting to see your twist. Yeah, I heard you root for the bad guys in just about everything.
I do, because I always feel like people are misunderstood, and I always feel like when you watch cartoons, it's like the bad guy, and it's like, oh, darn you kids.
You're the one that wanted to know why. Well, he's only bad because.
Yeah, I was like, he's hurt somewhere. He was hurt inside.
Because he didn't have a daddy. So go ahead and unplug that new EP. Let them know where they can get it, how they can get in touch with you. And for everybody to know, she did just get off the stage, so she's a trooper. She worked with me today.
I did. But I'm enjoying talking to you. It's a lot of fun.
I appreciate you. You're very easy to talk to. This is like a dream come true to me. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm going to put it all out there. I love Ameriie.
Thank you. So I guess I will say that you can visit my website, www.ameriie.com. I do have 2 eyes now. Sometimes people are like, I can't find you online. It's because it's 2 eyes. That's what it is, 2 eyes. And then from my website, you can find out all the new music, new Drive EP, anywhere music is digitally streamed /sold. And I have a YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah.
Books, Beauty.
We didn't talk about that, the book.
Books, Beauty, Ameriie. Because I wanted somewhere where I could go to just talk about books all the time. And I read like 50 to 60 books a year. Sheesh, and so I was like,
a book a week.
I need to,
actually,
a book a week.
Probably
it's
like a book and a half a week.
More like a book a week, because sometimes then I won't be able to read a lot.
Yeah, because your schedule now.
Yeah.
Just so kicking back up.
Yeah.
So how are you liking just that? Because you had that whole time off and time to yourself, and now it's just like run, like just now off the stage.
It's funny because, I love people. So talking to people is amazing. Like, I love talking to people. I love talking to you. I love people's energy. I feel like I'm here, and it's like, hopefully.
He's fired.
Hopefully, when I meet people, they feel better when they left me than before we started talking. But it's funny because there's another side to everything that I don't love. I don't love photo shoots. I don't love going to events.
Really?
I just don't.
I would assume that somebody as beautiful as you,
thank you.
I mean, would just love to just.
But that's just on the outside. That doesn't have anything to do with my personality.
But here's
you know
the
what
thing.
I mean?
Me. Station is WPGC. I met you years ago. You came. You did. We changed it from birth. Well, it wasn't for sisters only. We changed it to family first that year.
Okay.
And you came and performed, and you were the same sweet person back then.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So I mean, beauty is out. Of course, is outside, but it's within as well.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I just love people. That's what I love. I love creating music, writing. I love creating, and I love talking to people. The other things, they have to drag me out to make sure I'm like, is a photo shoot? I was like, do we have to do that? Yes, you haven't had any pictures in a long time, but do I really need them? I was really considering maybe I'll just be like one of those artists that you just never see. I'll just put out music, and I won't do any visuals at all. Not because I have a vision and I want to do certain things, and I love what's going on in here. But then there's another part of me that really just loves to create, and the time that I could spend taking pictures, I'd rather just spend making more stuff.
But there's artistry and creativity in pictures as well.
There are. But if you saw me as a kid, I just never loved taking pictures. But that's just a part of one of the things that come with the territory. So I do it.
People got to see your face.
You
got a great one.
Thank you. If my sister wasn't with me, I wouldn't have pictures on my Instagram. That's why I put pictures
of
books
She was the cool
on my
kid.
Instagram.
You were the geek, right?
Yep. She was the cool kid. She had all these friends, and my dad was like, you have too many friends. I'm driving by, you and your friends walking down. You guys are like 7 deep. That's too many friends. Meanwhile, I have one friend. And then when we're on punishment, I'm like, yeah, I get to have more time for myself. And my sister's like, you have nowhere to go.
It was like sending you outside.
Punishment was like vacation. I was like, thanks, Mom and Dad. I'll be in my room.
And everything kind of ended up opposite because she ended up being a lawyer and you ended up being the artist out in front, and everybody thought it would be separate in the house.
Exactly.
Right?
How did you know that?
Research.
It's fine on me.
Told you. I was a fan. I'm a fan. Teenage
My mom
crush.
is still asking me, don't you want to be a professor? I'm like, no. Then she was like, I think you'd make a great doctor. Maybe you should be a doctor. This was last year.
I mean, you have a bachelor's in English.
I have a bachelor's, yeah.
In English, right?
In English.
Georgetown grad.
Yeah.
Hoya.
I think. Should I be afraid?
No. Shouldn't be afraid. No worries. No worries.
Kidding.
I don't want no trouble.
Kidding.
Believe me. But
I'm kidding. So you're going to support the new EP when it comes out. It should be July.
July. My birthday's in July, too.
Okay. Happy birthday. Happy early birthday.
Thank you.
Would that be like presumptuous of me to be like, that's your birthday present?
If I got a hand-delivered EP from Ameriie,
not hand-delivered, just the fact that it exists.
It could be e-delivered. She could just send me a video saying this is my EP for my birthday. I would feel like $1 million. I would be like Ah, man. Pusha T, when he got his Allen Iverson jersey signed, I would be jumping up and down just like that if you saw that.
He was excited. I did see that.
I would be just as excited. That's how I would feel. Not even going to lie. And I have no shame in saying that.
So then we'll have you to thank when I do a visual, like when I have the movie, the film, the Cymatica film.
I definitely want to see it.
Looking
forward to it.
I have.
What's the timetable? Timeline are you looking at?
I don't know. I'm riding the wave for that. For that.
Just how you feel.
Yeah, and it's just everything has to come together because it's so specific with that. Like I have like Kanye voice, like it's like right up in here. So whenever he's like
just
trying
don't spaz out,
whenever he's
expressing
expressing himself and he's like my vision, I feel him. I'm like we are here. Like I understand it because that's how I feel, and I'm always like, as an artist, it can be really frustrating. We just want to get it out, so it has to just be right.
Oh man, so we're gonna be waiting forever.
So when 2045 rolls around, I'm telling you guys, no, I'm kidding. Not that long. It won't be.
I'll be wearing hats because I have to, not because it matches the outfit by then. Well, sheesh, come on, Anne-Marie, please don't do it to us. We're gonna be waiting patiently though.
No, it won't be too long, and I'm gonna keep putting out new music too.
All right, well, we definitely appreciate you coming through.
I'll never go away again.
You promise?
Okay.
Pinky swear?
Well, let's not go too far.
Nice.
I'll do my best.
Anyway, it's Impact TV, myself, DJ Akademiks, the beautiful Miss Anne-Marie.
Thank you for having me.